If you have been using Delta Live tables, it is a time to update your vocabulary. DLT has evolved into Lakeflow Spark Declarative Pipelines, or shortly called SDP. While the core engine remains the most powerful way to build batch and streaming pipelines, its new role within the Lakeflow ecosystem changes how we architect the data quality. With Lakeflow SDP, we are moving to an architecture where you declare the outcome and let the engine handle the execution. So let us understand why declarative beats the imperative and how the SDP automates the heavy lifting of enterprise ETL. Welcome to Architect Mindset, your blueprint for modern systems. In traditional Spark, you have to tell the system how to do everything, how to manage checkpoints, how to scale, and how to handle failures. In Lakeflow SDP, you simply declare what the data should look like. The declarative approach replaces thousands of lines of imperative glue code with high-level SQL or Python abstraction. You define streaming tables for ingestion and materialize views for your business logic. SDP then determines the most efficient way to execute that pipeline, automatically optimizing for cost and performance while managing all the complex state behind the scenes. SDP makes change data capture simple. Instead of writing complex logic to track inserts, updates, and deletes, you can use easy APIs in SQL or Python. The platform then automatically handles tricky issues like out-of-order events and supports both slow-changing type dimensions type 1 and type 2 tables, so you can choose whether to keep just the latest state or maintain the full history. SDP analyzes tasks to determine the necessary execution order based on data dependencies, eliminating the need for manual orchestration. So the system intelligently runs independent tasks simultaneously to reduce the overall runtime. The system includes task-level retries for transient failures, starting with the most granular unit to save the cost. The system employs a escalating retry strategy, starting with Spark tasks, then flows, and finally the entire pipeline. The gold standard for an architect is the ability to stop bad data before it ever reaches a dashboard. SDP uses expectations to do this. Expectations are SQL-based expressions used to validate and enforce data quality at the row level as data flows through the pipeline. You can set rules like email must be valid or ID cannot be null and predefine the validation policy, which tells the system to either warn you, drop the row, or fail the entire pipeline. The interesting part is that you can now manage these quality rules centrally in the Unity catalog, allowing you to share and audit data contracts across your entire enterprise effortlessly. You can define multiple expectations for a single dataset, and they can be used in both SQL and Python pipeline definitions. Unlike SQL, where you must define each constraint individually, Python allows you to apply a single policy to an entire set of rules at once. For large-scale environments, Databricks recommends storing these expectations definitions in a separate central repository, like a Delta table, to maintain them without modifying the core pipeline code. In Python, expectations must be defined on the target table within the create functions. They cannot be defined within an append flow. Be aware that defining expectations on certain materialized views may trigger a full refresh rather than an incremental one if specific conditions are not met. Architects must decide where to enforce the data quality based on the medallion architecture. From bronze to silver, focus on the validity and completeness. Use on-violation drop row to ensure the silver layer remains a clean source of truth without breaking the ingestion pipeline. From silver to gold, focus on the accuracy and consistency. Use on-violation fail update for critical business metrics where a single bad record could lead to incorrect financial or regulatory reporting. While on-violation drop row is efficient for expected noise, it can lead to silent data loss, where critical business records may disappear without a trace for recovery. This is where Databricks recommends architects to implement a quarantine pattern. Create two flows for a single source, one that keeps good data and another that captures bad data into a separate quarantine table. This maintains pipeline availability while ensuring the problematic records are preserved for the RCA and eventual reprocessing. To avoid hard to maintain pipelines, it is better to store your expectation logic in a separate repository rather than hard coding SQL strings into every pipeline. This practice allows you to update, audit, and maintain data quality rules without modifying the underlying transformation logic of your pipelines. Use Python to dynamically inject these expectations into multiple tables, ensuring consistent validation across similar datasets. In SDP, serverless scaling is engineered to operate as a zero-knobs architecture, meaning users do not need to manually configure cluster sizes or instance types. The system automatically handles all resource management to optimize for both performance and cost. The automatic vertical scaling mechanism ensures the pipeline has sufficient memory to process updates without failing, while avoiding over-provisioning. So SDP detects when a pipeline update fails due to out of memory. It automatically restarts the update using larger instance types to resolve the failure. If the system detects that the allocated instances are consistently underutilized during updates, it will automatically switch to smaller instance types for subsequent run to reduce the cost. Automatic horizontal scaling, also known as the enhanced auto-scaling, it's a mechanism that dynamically adjusts the number of worker nodes based on real-time workload volume. So this feature is enabled by default for all new pipelines, and it is always active for serverless pipelines. The decision to add or remove nodes are based on the task slot utilization, which is the ratio of busy to total slots, and the task queue size, which is the number of waiting tasks for execution. Enhanced auto-scaling is specifically optimized for streaming workloads, capable of aggressively adding nodes when data volume spikes and shutting them down when the backlog clears. If the queue is growing, it scales up aggressively to catch up, then scales back down once the stream is back to real-time latency. For large batch loads, it identifies when the shuffle phase is over and starts decommissioning nodes even before the entire job is finished, which is where a lot of cost saving happens. Unlike standard autoscaling, which waits for the nodes to be fully idle, enhanced autoscaling can proactively shut down underutilized nodes while guaranteeing no task fails, ensuring the tighter cost control. The shift from Delta Live Tables to Lakeflow Spark declarative pipelines is primarily a refinement of the API to align with the open source Apache Spark 4.1. The important part for production team is this: the existing DLT pipelines continue to run. But going forward, Databricks is steering new development towards the PySpark.pipelines interface, so you can adopt SDP features without rewriting your architecture. Another architectural improvement is how CDC is expressed. Instead of embedding CDC logic inside a table definition, SDP promotes CDC into a first-class flow, separating what the target table is from how it gets updated. That separation improves portability, auditability, and long-term maintainability. Databricks uses the internal Enzyme engine to maintain materialized views efficiently. The Enzyme engine is a specialized optimization layer in Lakeflow SDP responsible for incrementalizing transformations. It essentially acts as a brain that determines how to update your tables efficiently without recomputing everything from scratch. It uses an internal cost model to decide the most efficient way to keep materialized views up to date. That means you no longer need to handcraft complex incremental logic like the custom merges or watermarking strategies inside your pipelines. If only a small subset of data changes, Enzyme applies targeted incremental updates. But if a large portion of the data has changed, the cost model may decide a full recompute is actually faster and cheaper. The key idea here is this: SDP chooses the optimal strategy for you based on the cost, not on the assumptions. SDP offers two execution modes: triggered and continuous. Triggered mode runs on demand, processing new data and stopping to save cost. Continuous mode keeps the cluster running to process data instantly, which is ideal for low latency requirements. While pipeline mode determines how and when the data is processed, it is the event hooks in SDP which defines what happens when specific event occurs during those processes. In the triggered mode, event hooks are particularly useful for tracking the start and end of a batch run. Since a triggered pipeline shuts down its compute once completed, you might use a hook to send a notification like a Slack alert or trigger a downstream process only after the successful completion event is captured. In the continuous mode, the pipeline runs indefinitely. Event hooks here can monitor the health of the stream by listening for specific data quality events or flow level updates without needing to wait for a final completion event that never comes. Lakeflow Spark declarative pipelines have moved us from writing code to managing data flows. By automating infrastructure and centralizing quality, you can build production-ready pipelines up to 25 times faster than before. Now that we have mastered the modern way to build, it's time to talk about how to leave the past behind. So join me next week as we provide the definitive migration blueprint from moving from legacy warehouses like Hadoop or Teradata into the Lakehouse. Subscribe to lead the transition, and I will see you next one.